guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident Podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. We are, I'm Jen, and we are here with Simbaza, host and creator of the Simbaza Podcast. Before we get started, we want to share a quick update about this show. We're making a few changes going forward. Our amazing collaborator, Simbaza, host and creator of the Simbaza podcast, is going to be taking a break from our joint project. We want to extend a massive thank you to Simbaza for his incredible partnership, energy, and everything he's brought to the show. We appreciate you so much, but do not worry, do not fret. Woke by accident is not going anywhere. 6 years in the game, still going strong, and we will continue to bring amazing content just on a brand new schedule. And stay tuned for those details. But okay, Sambasa.
Hey, Brian, what's up? Yeah, it's been a journey, and
Oh,
yeah,
hang on. I want to hit the yay. Okay. There
yeah,
we go.
it's been a journey here. Yeah, I can say it's been a long journey, and I'm appreciative of the fact that this project just started out of us working on Black History Month, and look at
Mhm.
where we are right now. It's been quite a while, and I just want to thank everyone who's been going through this, who's been with us through all this, and being part of everything that we have done. And I'm still not gone yet. I'm still going to be hopefully coming in for a few things here and there.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's all I had to say. But thank
Okay.
yeah.
No, for sure. We appreciate you for sure. And you may see some additional joint content, or you may have already seen some additional joint content with us both on Sambaza's platform, on a different platform. So follow us, on all the different platforms. And yeah, so definitely I want to be always evolving as content creators. We talk a lot about content creation and we support each other here. So yeah, but okay. How about an affirmation?
Oh, sure. The affirmation of the week. It says, "I listen to my body, honor its needs, and give it the rest and nourishment it craves."
Okay, we received that. Thank you for sharing.
Right.
And
I want to thank everybody who's coming along here. We are on this platform, StreamYard, Facebook. We are also on YouTube and TikTok Live. Also, not forgetting our Clubhouse members who are showing up there, and Substack. And want to thank everyone coming in. And before we move to the next part, we want to welcome everybody. I have JR saying, "Man, oh man." Um, this we need to take a moment and talk about sharing. Yes, Amazon Music. He said, "I'm gonna have to come out of retirement." Okay, that'll be great. Wish you well in your journey right now. And I know you have a question. We're going to answer it here in a moment regarding this collaborative show. Please, let's pen it and let's not forget it.
okay.
Mhm. All right. We'll go to of the proverb of the week. Now, our proverb comes from the country called Botswana. It's a landlocked South African nation famous for its massive elephant population and its incredible biodiversity and vast desert landscapes. Botswana is a global heavyweight in diamond production and is home to the incredibly rich. Now, it's a quarter point. When you look at it, a quarter point means that it's the only Botswana forms the only point in the world where four countries meet, intersecting Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, in a location called the Caprivi Strip. Now, cattle are far more than just food or revenue for Botswana. They have the best beef, I've been told. They are a deep cultural symbol of wealth, pride, and prosperity. It is locally joked that the average Botswana person, that's a person from Botswana, is born with a cowbell in their hand. All right, so for the proverb, it says, The wisdom of an old buck comes from a younger buck.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Jen, how do you interpret that particular podcast?
Well, I
That not podcast,
guess.
particular proverb.
Oh, proper. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you would think that the older one would be already coming with the knowledge and the wisdom. But I guess in actuality, there is something to be learned from the youth. You know what I mean? And even children, even babies. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's, you can always learn something, but that's probably not right.
No, actually, it does go right hand in hand because
Mhm.
see, the wisdom of an older buck comes from the younger buck. So the younger self learned something that is keeping from the that's keeping with itself as it grows older, and two, also as it's growing older, it's learning from what you see against the younger bucks. Now, let's put it in context. Look at yourself or as a human being.
Mhm.
You've learned everything as you've grown up, and right now you're watching the things that are happening behind you, the kids who are coming up. You have all this knowledge of things that have been happening around the world, and you're watching their coming. Remember, we grew up with I think we started with the advent of the computer, right? But
Mhm.
they now TikTok, they have AI. Theirs is Chat GPT. Actually, Chat GPT is their stage in life. So
Yes.
now you learn something from their stage in life while you still come up with what you had gotten from the advent of the computer age. So that's how I process that proverb.
Okay, thank you for sharing the proverb. We
Mhm.
will introduce our topic at this time. So, today we are breaking down a major headline that's been stirring up a lot of conversation across politics, media, and everyday communities, the announcement of the Anti Weaponization Fund. And this is recent, like as a few weeks ago, from your president, your president. So we're going to talk about what is it, why are people reacting so strongly, and the impact of this. So I thought it was quite interesting because I named the episode "Trump Did What." So we will talk about it. We'll talk about
Okay. So this fund, it's called the Anti-Weaponization Fund. Fund. That's what it's called.
it.
It's a new government program that was created in May 2026 to give money to or formal apologies to people who say they were unfairly targeted by the government. Now, this is not only the particular group, that the January 6th people that try to stop the election process going on, but it extends to other people in other
Okay.
areas. Now, the fund was going to use the 1.776 billion from the federal judgment fund, which is from the federal judgment fund, which is money the government can use to settle certain legal claims. That's what it says. Wait, let me get this right. The fund will use 1.776 billion from the federal judgment fund, which is the money government can use to settle certain legal claims. A five-member commission chosen by the attorney general will decide who gets help, and the process is supposed to end late 2028. Um, yeah, that's
It's
how we
another
start.
layer to that money. If you want to go ahead and
Right.
share, go ahead and share it.
So this money, the 1.776 billion, was actually what the President Trump had sued the government over what he thought has been targeted as fair, but or unfair practice by the IRS.
Him,
So he
him
sued them.
personally. Him
Right.
personally.
You see him
Yeah.
personally. So the judgment was that he they were to settle that amount, but instead of him taking the money, he told them, okay, fine, instead of me suing you because I'm probably going to get the money, why don't we create a fund for that money and then give it over to the people who have been targeted, kind of like a charity. And that's how it comes about. With that money, it didn't just spring out of nowhere. That's where the origin of the money came from.
Okay, let's put a pin in it there because it's layers, it's layers, it's layers. Do you want to address some of the comments before we look at the fallout
Yes.
of this?
Right. Um, let's go to okay. Ed is saying heavy emphasis on your president. Yes, he's our president right now. I mean, um, now we need. Jr. says we need that money to be used for something better. Fix the education system. Let's fix the college debt problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I mean, when you look at Denmark, if you ever
Or
look at
the
Denmark, they
poverty problem. Like it can be used for so many things, right? Like, yeah.
countries like Denmark offer you free education
Mhm.
to anyone as long as you are in their education system. I almost went there, just a FYI.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah, that was one of my options to go, and yeah. So wait, here are the comments. I was on the wrong thing. Yeah. I think you said we put a pin on that. But let me see here. So JR had said something before. I want us to. We're gonna go back to it, but he has a couple of things that we. Yeah, oh, JR, you have a couple of things that we're gonna look into. I don't want to miss out on this storyline, but we'll get back to it. I see you. I have that. We've already penned into it, and we'll talk about it before the show ends. So go ahead with the the slash fund, the IRS slash fund.
Right. So we want to look at the
That's how it started
fallout.
off.
What happened?
That's how it started off. IRS slash fund.
True, true.
Yep.
So there's fallout. Okay, the fund has triggered massive backlash from the Democrats, concern from the some Republicans, and multiple lawsuits, mostly over whether the government can create a nearly 1.8 billion payout program without clear congressional approval or strong oversight. And so, what are the people upset about? One big criticism is that the fund looks too broad, too political, especially because, as you mentioned, it comes from a settlement tied to Donald Trump's own IRS lawsuit. So, like, this is, you know, um, his settlement. He's saying, okay, let's do this with it. So, critics are raising that this is self dealing. Supporters say it helps people who were unfairly targeted by the government, as you say. So that is a good chunk of the fallout. But there are also some controversies. So I want you to share on that.
Yeah. So when we look at the controversies that come up, is that with this fund, it was inclusive of the January 6 defendants, as they call
Mm-hmm.
themselves. This is the most significant point of the contention in that the administration has refused to exclude individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol riot for applying for the funds. Actually, that's where the most basis is on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the issue of the mobilization of claimants. Almost immediately after the announcement, defense lawyers and pardoned rioters began coordinating to secure taxpayer funded payouts. Now, there's also legal conflict and litigation. The fund has triggered immediate and furious lawsuits from the Capitol Police who aimed at blocking the distribution of the funds. And this creates the significant legal uncertainty and pits federal law enforcement officers against their administrations. That means you're filing suit against your employers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moral hazard and restitution for prison time. So critics are alarmed that pardoned rioters and their defense lawyers are mobilizing to claim compensation for past prison time and legal bills. Now, this is seen not only as erasing the penalty for their actions, but actively rewarding them for multi-million dollar sums. Yeah, and some people are really requesting a lot of money. Yeah,
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 that's bizarre. Very bizarre. Your
yeah, and
thoughts?
it's a it's something that is really we're gonna have to look into it. I'll say
So
that.
you said the majority of, like, it's pointed toward the people who were a part of the January 6th defendant group.
Right. So the thing is, it was supposed to be for everyone. Anyone who has been targeted does not mean
Not
January
just
6th.
it. Hmm.
Yeah, but the January 6th people are taking more precedence because they're the ones who are being involved in it, because they're saying, hey, we paid legal fees and what have you, and they're the ones who are mainly on the focus. Plus, some of the senators and the people who are the representatives are actually trying to also apply for it to get some money from that particular fund.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they were told that this is part of your fund. You can also go after some of this money. This was in a closed door
Mm-hmm.
meeting which was held with the current acting what's his name, Blanche. He was
Mm-hmm.
called into a meeting by Republicans, which did not end well, and he was being asked about that particular fund and said, okay, it also, you all can get some of this money too. So we'll talk about that. I think with the fallout, where it's coming to. But um, I'll put it like this. So they called him and asked him the questions like, "Hey, what's this fund for? Who's going to be putting on that commission,
Mm-hmm.
and who's supposed to be applying for it?" And he said, "Look, even the people who were actively involved in pushing those police officers and breaking, and there was film to show, they still have an option to request for the money." And
Mm-hmm.
this was when things just went out of hand and it got heated in that meeting. Um, and currently, as we speak right now, the website of the current government website is erasing all that information on January 6th. If it's be it videos or any reports, they're trying to erase that off. But hey, the
I
internet does not.
heard you. Yeah, you were telling me about that. That's
Right.
really extreme.
So, like you said, the internet does not forget, so it's still be there. We're still not going to forget, and the people are still liable. I mean, there's evidence. I too have my own evidence. I recorded it on off of CNN. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
And the people that were live streaming and all of that, that's out there, right?
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not helping the situation. First of all, with the fact that people have all this evidence
Mm-hmm.
that is out there. First of all, two, it's the fact that when you want to help people, we cannot start requesting for people who have rioted and then give them money back because you went in there and acted what was against the Constitution. And by
Mm-hmm.
the way, I think on the 14th Amendment, or part of there's a law, a caption in the Constitution that says the federal government is not liable for any payments for insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is what is going to come up in most of these cases when they go up against trying to stop this fund. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious to see what will happen because that's one of the things that's in part of the Constitution. So
Right.
our founding fathers, who are well aware of what happened, so they say in terms of insurrection, no, you're not going to be paid.
But, Donald Trump is obviously in favor of this. And do you think that he feels responsible for these people, getting in trouble because they came there at his urging? Or they, a lot of them say, oh, well, he said for us to come. And, here we showed up. Like, does he feel, looking, trying to look on the outside or from his perspective, that he feels responsible or feel bad for these people and, you know, feels like he needs to make it right with them?
Yeah, but I think when you try to say he feels responsible, yes, you are responsible,
He
but you're
is.
responsible on the wrong side of the law. First of all, when you went in and started asking for votes. Two, when you supposedly asked them to go take their country back, and they started going up against the people, the people out there when they were trying to go to the Capitol Police. Two things. One thing he could have done. The first thing is he could have told them to stop, right?
Mhm.
And he could have
Yeah.
called the forces and told them to stop before they went any further. Now, he never said anything, went quietly away, and just to observe what was going on. Never call for backup for the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
then you have this lady who loses her life. Remember, they
Yes.
were trying to attack. So they were trying to attack his own people, even his own people.
His
The
staff.
Republicans.
Yeah.
Let's just Republicans and Democrats were all part of that whole process. Even the vice president was in there
Right.
trying to challenge the well, not trying to challenge. He was just there just to make sure the process was going on right because they were still in power. So
Mm-hmm.
at the point where that these ladies were chasing these Capitol Police and had them cornered, what did you expect them to do? Like tell them
Mm-hmm.
welcome and what have you? No, you get shot because that's what you were looking for. You know,
Yeah, it was a threat. It was totally a threat. Yeah. So.
the only yeah, and you know, I'm sorry to say, but this situation could have been worse. Had they took arms, they could have shot them just right at the doorstep as they were trying to get in.
Yeah, a lot of people were armed.
It,
They were
no, it could
climbing
have
the
been a back and
walls
forth.
and yeah.
No, it could have been a back and
Oh,
forth like
gotcha, gotcha. Right.
right. And when you look at it, it went a different way. So
Mm-hmm.
I think when you start from that angle, I think you will be able to see that there's no reason why these people should apply for that fund in the first place. You went, you were there in that vicinity, you caused problems, right? At your own choice. You gathered the day
That's
before.
exactly right.
So why are you asking for this money? And then another thing is, psychologically, there's even a cartoon strip that showed, you know, patriots on one side, and then it
Mm-hmm.
shows the marble arc, the one that the president is creating, something like that, and then it
Mm-hmm.
shows it shows January's the slash fund is what is the makes the pillar, and then as they cross, they become soldiers. That in itself tells you a lot. So anytime you are have if they get paid, people will say, you know what, I'm gonna get paid if I go and do this thing. And we know the American concept. There are gonna be people who will follow what is being done, and up to a T.
Right.
Copycats, they're definitely gonna be there.
Yeah. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. Especially since a lot of their charges got dropped and all that. So yeah, for them
but
to.
but even that Jen, look at the so what they're saying is um Comey,
Hmm.
James Comey, the what's his name, the lady Miss Cook, the one who's the one in the Federal Reserve. She's also been in trouble. They were trying to get at her for trying to get her out of office. She can go and apply for that money. The other person
Oh.
is,
Okay.
yeah, the former chair of the central bank, the central bank or the treasury. What's his name? Powell, is it Powell? The one that he hated, he put him in, and now he's hating on him. So all those three people can
Okay.
actually go again and
Mm-hmm.
request for those funds. Now they ask the questions, are you going? James Comey said, yeah, I'll apply for it. I'll see if I'm eligible for the funds. But the one question is it right in the first place? Two, it's the
Mm-hmm.
taxpayers funds.
Mm-hmm.
We are paying for it,
Yeah.
nobody else is
Exactly.
paying for it, right?
Right.
So how do you feel when you look at this in a situation where the money is coming off from your pocket and going to other somebody else's pockets, whereas as JR was saying, the money could be put into somewhere else, like fix the education system, the college debt problem, I mean the homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many problems that we have in the US that we can resolve just with that fund. What do you think
Well, I
on
mean,
your end?
it says a lot that this was his choice and decision to, oh, we have this fund, let's do this with it, knowing that there's a huge poverty problem in this country, knowing that, credit card debt, college student loan debt is off the charts. That this is his first thought. I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot about, the values of what's important. Someone who is wealthy and, has money like this at their disposal has a very, particular opinion about people who are not wealthy, who are poor. And it says a lot. But to me, it doesn't seem like you're going to change somebody's like that mind. But I mean,
Mhm.
power to the people who are, suing and, organizing to try to stop the payouts. Maybe that is, a step in the right direction to try to make some change in this, because it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair.
Oh, definitely. There was going to have to be some pushback, and also this has also gone into the lawmakers. The lawmakers are also giving it a lot of pushback because
Right.
of how it looks as we are going into the election year and what have
Hmm.
you. So chances are some of these people who are especially who are in the purple states, not the
Hmm.
reds, and the blues. But if you're in a purple state, you might want to look carefully about how you will go around, talking about the fund and who's eligible for the fund. So as it is, there's some pushback on it. We're yet to hear more regarding what's going on because, as usual, they take off on recess to kind of quietly, show their discontent. But yeah, it is a topic that has to be looked into. I wish they would use the money to fix something else. But like I
Right.
said, it's not going to ordinary, the people who really need it. If you put that money into programs that help the needy, right?
Right.
I think you will see a scale, a different change, or there'll be a change in the near future, and the money is going to go back to the community. You
Hmm.
see, I'll give an example. One of the person that was was caught up in that January 6th person. They were a real estate person who came all the way from Texas, flew all the way to the capital to go for that for the riot or whatever, for
Hmm.
the skirmishes.
Yeah, we
You
had a
know,
person from Missouri that went up there. I don't know if they were from
and,
St. Louis. They might have been from another suburb, but yeah, it was a lot of
ironically,
people.
they're moneyed. Some of them are moneyed people. It's not people
Mhm.
who are just just somebody out there. Because
Mhm.
hey, you got to have money. You got to believe in something to have actually gone there. Some people drove there, but when you look at a majority of the people who are going there to fight the in quotes fight, they were well to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So like I said, the money's still going to go back to the wrong people.
Right. So this
Yeah.
speaks to his values. This speaks to his, empathy of, the poor and all of that. So yeah, that's very telling. Very telling.
Right. But my thing that people should look into is the intricacies of how the the system works, the
Mhm.
political system, your local system, and that's
Mhm.
why we always tell people, go ahead and get involved in this fight for justice in terms of your local politics, your um, anything that's to do with resources, because politics is nothing but resources, how resources are going to be defined and how they're going to be distributed. uh, if you notice, a lot of the times, like Dominic came here the other day from Owl Media. Dominic came here a couple of weeks ago and talked about how Memphis, he said something, it was carved like a scalpel. And when you look at it, some of these states where the Democrats are trying to get seats, okay, you're cutting them off, but what is the end goal? And this is where politics comes in. So whenever you see these things, especially now when you look at to me, I'll say, when you look at these funds coming up, especially this particular fund, find the resource. Why did it come up? Follow
Well,
the
we know
trail.
why they're cutting it up like a scalpel. We know
Right,
why, you know?
right.
But yeah.
So most of these things, follow the trail and then see where you come in and how you can make the change. Because a vote really makes so much of a difference,
It
especially
does.
now. See, if people went and voted or they made the right choices, they probably have somebody else
Mhm.
different, and maybe
Mhm.
the outcome would be different. But the choice was made, and this is what we
Mhm.
have to contend.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Voting is very important, especially in those, um, smaller elections,
your local elections, because that's where it
local
all
elections.
starts.
Yeah.
Most of the laws that come up to benefit society will
Mhm.
start from your local local city council,
Mhm.
the school boards. That's where it all starts from.
Mhm.
Books being not put in because of this
Different
particular value.
propositions and yeah,
Right.
right.
Where does it come from? People will decide there, then, hey, oh, why don't we take it up there to the law? Then they go to the lobbyists. The lobbyists are the ones who push it through, and that's how things get into the bigger picture. So,
Absolutely. Our last segment was about why you should care. Why is this important? Um, we feel that people should care because it's fun affects how taxpayer money is used. Like you just said, this is taxpayers' money. And who gets to decide. So critics, as you mentioned, argue that it could be a politically driven payout program, and supporters feel like this is correcting unfair government targeting, and so that is you know to be reserved, depending on your feelings on the matter. It also matters because it raises a simple question: can the government set up a big compensation program like this without the approval? It seems like Congress definitely should have been included in this. So that's a big issue. So these lawsuits, we'll see what becomes of that. We'll definitely this is one to keep watch of, and see how it ends. Because this is huge. It's a big ton of money. You know.
one of the big ones here, because
Mhm.
it's not one of the, there are a lot coming in around. But yeah, we should be able to overcome
Yeah.
and figure out exactly where it's going to go. If there's going to be a fallout, or people will decide, hey, you know what, we're going to agree to it and keep going, and we shall see.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
I think by now, and in this particular day and age, anything can go. I haven't seen a lot in my time, and
Yeah.
yeah, so who
Yeah.
knows?
It's true. Yeah, anything's possible. Who would ever thought we would have had, a black president? You know what I mean? So, it's kind of funny how
Oh,
things
and
have.
he's about to open up the center. It's June 18th. June 18th is when they're opening up the center. It's on a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's
And
dope.
hey, this is just an FYI. I'm just adding this in. You can view the opening because they have tickets to go in, and I think they've
Mhm.
sold out the tickets
Okay, now say what
because
you're talking about, because we can't just assume that everybody knows what you're talking about.
oh, it's the Obama Center. The Obama Center is
Okay, there
opening
we
on
go. There we go.
Thursday. Um, so they have tickets, which are probably sold out by now, and you can go in online and view the opening ceremony and what have you online. I'm sure it'll
Oh
be
yeah,
there
it'll be
somewhere
online.
too, and what have you. Yeah. So, like I said, we were not here. We have the first black president opening up his library or institution
Mhm.
where we'll be going there. It'll be our mecca probably.
That's amazing. That's so dope. Okay,
So now
so
let's go back.
we'll
By the
pivot.
way,
Yes.
yeah, say, Denise has come in along and said hello, family. So we're gonna acknowledge that and say, hey, Denise, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And now,
Okay,
do you
before
think?
you go back, we can't just
Go ahead.
assume people pop in, pop out. That some people may have missed what we shared earlier, but we did share an update that Woke by Accident is making some changes, and our fellow amazing collaborator Sambaza here is going to be taking a break from our collaboration. So we extended a huge thank you to Sambaza for his incredible partnership, energy, and everything he's brought to this show. Let me find that applause button again. Yes. So we, definitely extended thank yous, gratitude to Sambaza. But don't worry, Book by Accident is not going anywhere. 6 years down, still going strong. And we'll continue the content. It may be a little different. It may not be every week. We'll stay tuned for the details on those changes. But yeah, Sambaza, share.
So we're gonna go back on back to what Ed was saying. What have you learned? Actually, no, we're gonna go back further than that. Oh yeah, no. Ed comes and says, "Yeah, what have you learned during this phenomenal collaboration, man?" Um, I have learned how you can bounce ideas back and forth, and everyone brings in something for the topic at hand. And it's the collaboration has not been a collaboration between the two of us. It's a collaboration between us and the community that has been coming up, and it's not you and I. It's more like the community brings in the information. Like now, here we have you asking me the questions or asking us the questions, and then we go back and answer. um, that's how I would say I've learned about this phenomenal collaboration. What about you, Jen?
I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, I definitely feel like it is you and I, in the collaboration because it's a lot of work. It's not just popping up. Okay, it's live. Let's go. We have meetings ahead of time. We hammer it out. Trying to get this situation of what we want the message to be. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and if you can't deal with the person, you can't, it doesn't really work. And then we've seen other, what's the word,
Other podcasts and other
collaboratives.
projects.
Well, yeah, other
Right.
podcasts, I mean, that come and go, or people branch off here and there. So to have, I respect the collaboration, but I definitely give us credit as two people working and doing the work to have with a common goal, not driven by likes and glitter and going viral, and none of that is, definitely want our work to get out there and be proud of, but not driven by, anything superficial. So I, respect it. So I have a lot of, respect and pride for what we've come out with, especially Black history. What we came up with was really great. Even though I'm not all about awards, I mean, it's definitely something I may consider, applying next award season because, I feel like I'm really proud of what we've done.
Oh, right. Well, hey, we didn't go. I thought you went viral.
You know what? You want
So,
to go viral. You want to go viral.
look, I'm already in trouble somewhere, and I ain't gonna go about that. Now, JR asks, can the show be called Walk by Jin and Sambaza? And I learned from the old heads and gave the young bucks knowledge and discipline. Okay. Now, about calling Walk by Jin and Sambaza, what do you think about that? Well,
No, no, it doesn't
we got
really.
woken up. We got woken up by, by Jin and Sambaza. Well, and And Denise says 100% all the love. We appreciate that.
Hey, thank you. For
Yeah,
sure.
so well, at least we answered the questions, and thank you for guys who have showed up here. I've seen a lot of people coming on TikTok, and whoever is on Substack, Facebook, uh, StreamYard, YouTube, and not forgetting our people at Clubhouse. Want to thank you for showing up all this time, because you could be somewhere else, but you chose this time to hang out with us and enjoy the show with us. So I'm really appreciative of that and of the community that has been created.
For sure.
Okay.
For
So, Jen, do you
sure.
have anything else that we can talk about today?
No, I got we got through the Trump conversation pretty smoothly. I was a little, I don't know, had a little anxiety about it, but I'm glad, we were able to
What?
share about that.
They're going to shadow ban us here in a minute.
You think?
Oh yeah, we're going to be shadow banned. If you so, guys, when you say shadow ban, is that they will not push the content out as it's supposed to be pushed out, as opposed to our other shows. So the best thing you can do is once you see this, just go ahead and share to all
Yeah,
the people that you would see, as it moves the shows to other people, so that it
it
creates
does.
visibility.
It
Yeah.
does.
So
Hitting the like
yeah.
button actually is pretty significant. I know I do a bad job of asking for it, but we do appreciate, feedback in the smallest way, even hitting a like, even hitting a follow to Twitter or wherever, you or X. Yeah, we appreciate that. It does, matter.
Oh, and now threads too.
Mhm. Yeah,
Threads subs.
I try to have a presence on all of them.
Yeah, I've been working on it, and that's where um, I'm going to look at. So that's the other reason why we're having this break, because there were series that I've created, because Ambaza was doing the whole series thing, and I have some series coming up, and yeah, it's much of those series that I want to put out there, and again, I'm still coming back. We're still gonna
Yeah,
hang
you
out.
have a lot of things in the can. Anything to share on that?
So there's a series coming up. There's a divorce series. Then there's a immigrant series where we talk about kids who are first generation immigrants. So
Mhm.
you're born of immigrant family and what you're thinking of. And so it's that divorce, and then I'm taking it back again and redoing one that I had done before. This series is going to be about your first time travel experiences. So those are the three series I've been working on for all this time, and yeah, it's going to come up at least weekly, and
Okay.
that's where the project comes in. So it's that, and like you said, a whole lot of things are in the plate, are on my plate right now. So I'm trying to balance a few things here, and then once I get that situated, then we'll see how it goes.
And then anything about the Substack content?
Oh yeah, Substack is always going to be there. So I'm learning about Substack. That's where it's my go-to place right now. Hoping to kind of branch out to sit in there most of the time and create content, especially the lives off of Substack.
Hmm.
I feel that it's a great way of going in and working things from there. Oh, I gotta send Mufasa Genius. Lisa has joined in from TikTok, and
Okay.
let me see, Lisa here, if she can come on.
Or
Okay,
Lisa?
so yeah, our Lisa, she's
Oh,
over there. So yeah, so those are the things Substack is offering right now, and since it's free,
okay.
I'll take advantage of it. But you always have to weigh the pros and the cons, and then see how it
Mhm.
works out. Yeah. So
For
definitely,
sure.
it's been a journey, and I'm doing
Okay.
learning. It's learning and learning and learning and learning. So
Definitely. Well, we invite everyone to support Sambaza in his individual content at the Sambaza podcast. That is essentially your handle on all of the other platforms. So, YouTube, Substack, all of the places, and support him in his upcoming individual series. We support you and we'll be
Thank
watching.
you. Oh, please. And like, subscribe, and get that notification. Hit that notification button, because without that notification button, you'll not know what's going on, because it's all an adjustment to so many things that are happening. And yeah.
Absolutely. All the and so support all the independent creators. It is really, hard to compete with with everyone that's out here. So, the ones that and you know that they're doing something significant, let's support them. So we, definitely want to encourage and lift each other up. So, shout out to JR, the West Virginia Uncommon Place, another independent, fabulous creator. He's made some comments here.
Yeah, and they said we need to support Sambaza. Jen is also is amazing. Support her, and she's out in them streets. And actually, we're gonna hang out with JR in a meeting and to see how things are going out. And this is how podcasting is done. You create meetings and talk about stuff and learn a few things. So I'm supposed to be going into a class and session with him sometime this week.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I guess I
All right.
won't crash it.
So, and it's and Sambaza will be next up. Yep. So, with that, Jen, I think we can say take us home.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope that today's conversation has enlightened and inspired you. If you found the episode meaningful, we ask that you consider sharing it, following with friends and colleagues. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. So, until next time. All right, guys. Take care.
All right, Jen.